what's your favorite city that you've ever fought in? Not city you've been to, but somewhere you fought. Your favorite place?
Let's see. That's kind of tough. I mean, I will have to say Hawaii. I fought in Hawaii 3 times, and I loved it every single time. They bring like a really wonderful like fighting spirit to it, and it just makes the fight like really cool and really special. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Sara. So Leah is a very young and hungry competitor. What did you think about her last fight against Kat?
It was a really close competitive fight. I thought she's made improvements in her game. And I thought that, you know, like that fight was probably one of the best fights she's had. So just I anticipate that she's growing, and then I'll see an even better version. So that's what I'm preparing for.
You just beat one of the top-ranked girls in Bellator. This is another one of the top-ranked girls in Bellator. Do you feel like a win here definitely just guarantees that title shot next?
Yeah. I would assume that I would be the next one. I just don't know what else I would have to do at that point. You know, I mean, coming into the promotion, like not to take anything away, but I really feel like Arlene was like, it's one of the best fighters in this promotion. And to fight her right out of the gates at a new weight class like that, I shouldn't have to fight another fight to be a title contender because of my history in the UFC and the way that fight went. You know, I mean, she's really, really tough. She beats 99% of the girls at 145, and that was a big win for me. So
you fought in many different promotions over the years with many different fight kits, but those gold gloves have to be some of the best you've ever worn, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And they're super comfortable, which is really important to a fighter. Like, they're comfortable and they're cool looking.
Talk about your Bellator debut there, fighting at featherweight. You fought primarily in the UFC at bantamweight. How different is it not having to cut that extra weight? Like, have you noticed a difference in the weight classes?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't know until I started prepping for some of the bigger girls that in my training, all I have is like most of the girls I go with are larger than me. So I was like, wow, I've already been doing this. Like all of my training partners are taller than me or bigger than me. So that had already been, you know, like what I was accustomed to. But as far as my energy wise, as far as my motor skills and everything, like it's a humongous difference when it gets to the later parts of the rounds. So I'm really, really happy about that.
You mentioned it there. You fought the who's who in MMA. There is a big experience gap here in terms of who you fought and just even the overall fights. How much will that play into Saturday's matchup?
I think that it's not just like who I fought. It's probably more what I've learned. And so every single fight, win or lose, I go back, I analyze it, I keep the things that went really well. I adapt to the things that didn't go very well. So just having more fights and having better opponents reveal more errors or holes or mistakes, it's given me the opportunity to grow more.
And do you still pay attention to what's going on in the UFC's bantamweight division at all? Because obviously the title's vacant now with Amanda retiring earlier this year.
So I honestly, like, this is probably embarrassing, but I don't pay that much attention to fighting in general, and I haven't most of my career. I really love to do fighting. Mm-hmm. I love to train fighting. I love to compete in fighting. But I've never been a huge MMA fan, so I've never paid as much attention to all of the drama, all of the stories, all of, you know, and then what's being said and this. So I didn't like. I'm very focused on who's in front of me and what I need to do and how I can grow as an athlete. And that's kind of all I pay attention to.
No, I like the honesty. And just last one for me. What does it mean to be a part? You've been a part of a lot of big cards in your career, and this one's pretty awesome. And there's 2 women's title fights on here. Like, how cool is it to be a part of this card? So
coming up from like the earliest times in women's fighting and how far we've come, and having 2 women's title fights, and seeing how much these promotions are just supporting and backing women's fighting, it's really special to me, and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
What's up, Sara? You as a fighter have something kind of unique. You've been in the Olympics before. Obviously, there's other fighters that have too. However, what are some of the similarities, differences that you see when you're training for an MMA fight versus the Olympics?
Well, for an MMA fight, there is a lot of I'd say like urgency and stress, and almost like training to protect yourself from being injured is just a different ball game than training for a skill in a sport. But as far as the Olympics, there is nothing in the world that can ever compare to the pressure that is on an athlete when they compete in the Olympics. And as much as I tried to imagine it, having wrestled in world championships, it just was its own complete experience, and going through there and wrestling really well and, earning a medal. It was just, it's so difficult to do. It's just so unbelievably difficult. So in fighting, I just have never met that type of pressure again. It's just been the cream of the crop, the epitome of pressure in the Olympics.
And so how do you feel that the Olympics going through that has helped you become the mixed martial artist that you are?
I think that it taught me a lot about myself, and it taught me that I really could trust myself under pressure. That whatever the situation, when pressure is applied to me in an almost crippling degree, I was able to bring my skills out.
I like that. That's a great answer. Last one from me. I saw that you made a trip to the Dead Sea recently, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
What'd you think about your experiences there?
Oh, it was a phenomenal trip. I went there because I was coaching the U20 women's wrestling world team. And actually, after this fight, I'm going to go and help with the U23 world team. If I didn't have this fight, then I would have already been at the senior level helping with women's wrestling. And so getting to go to places like Jordan, I'll be going to Albania, like all of these places, like it's just really like unforgettable experiences. So it was really cool. I've never been in water that I just naturally floated in. So it was really awesome. Thank you. Yeah.
Hey, Sarah, over here.
Okay.
How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Doing good. How's Fight Week treating you, and how's San Diego? It doesn't get much better than this view.
I know, it's gorgeous. I was saying that too, like just being able to like open my blinds and like look out and see the bay. It's really beautiful. Like this is a vacation spot, so I have to keep myself focused. But no, otherwise it's great. I really like it.
You have been around a long time. You fought some of the best women in the world. Where does Leah McCourt rank amongst those women?
I think, that's tough. It's not disparaging to her, but, she's up there, I take her very, very seriously, and I know the skills that she has and the ones that she has gained. But that being said, having fought the best of the best, it's hard to put her in that category. Maybe someday, if she continues fighting, she'll be in that category, but I think that she has to do more to earn that status.
What do you think, other than wrestling, are your advantages over her, and how do you see the fight playing out on Saturday night for you?
I would say that I'm probably faster, more athletic. I definitely have more fighting experience. So the fight, I hope to have a finish. I really love submissions, and I always am looking for a submission. That's what I wanted to play out. Otherwise, I will do everything in my ability to win every exchange, to win every position exchange that we have, and get my hand raised as fast or as slow as possible. Whichever one it is, if it's full 15 minutes, I've completely prepared to grind for 15 minutes. And if it's earlier than that, perfect.
Sorry, one here, real quick one. I saw that at your position, you started. I'm not sure if you did start the mental prep for sports class. What kind of brought the idea to do that?
So I have a master's in mental health counseling. I have a ton of experience with sports psychology. When I lived at the Olympic Training Center, I had access to some of the best sports psychologists. I have different mentors. One of my close friends, Mario Cortez, is a sports psychologist. Leonard Wheeler is a former NFL player, and he has been a mentor to me throughout my MMA career. And so I really leave no stone unturned when it comes to making sure that my body and my mind are fully prepared for every single sporting event, whether it's wrestling, jiu-jitsu, or MMA. And I've done it across my entire career. And I started the class because I wanted to take some of the things that I knew, some of the experiences I had or people I've met, and I wanted to share that with my team. And some of the people are like, you have to do a podcast. And I think I'm a little shy. So like sometimes, so it's hard for me to do that. Even if I have the knowledge, it's kind of a little shyer. I just want to share it with my little team. But for me, it really is just kind of like about giving back in the ways that I can give back.
Do you find that while teaching, you actually learn a little bit too?
So for me, it's kind of a review. So I'm going through all of these different topics. I'm kind of a nerd. So I broke it down into 52 weeks. And each week I have a different topic and it's for 30 minutes. And a lot of it is, I'm like, wow, I have 4 different stories from either MMA or people I've known in wrestling. And I can share real life athletic experiences in these areas where people struggle with nerves before competition or your self-talk while you're competing. And I mean, just everything, finding your zone, all of these topics, they're review for me. But the cool thing is that where I was during the times that I learned these, where I was even 5 years later, because more competition, more experience, and where I am now, I have different tools, I have different solutions. And so it's really cool to me to see all the different ways I have evolved in the mental aspects of the game. And I think that's a huge factor in being able to compete well.
Gotcha. Well, it was a great idea. So I really hope everyone picks it up, honestly.
Oh,
Well, best of luck.
Thank you.